African American spiritual.
Good morning.
Good morning. Here you go, Taylor.
Thank you.
All right. So first off, who knows what a spiritual is?
You like you sing it in church?
You can, yes. A lot of the time it's sung in church, yes, and also in choral situations, yes.
Come from African American heritage?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so. So we're going to go ahead and start looking at the rhythms. I've got a sheet here that's going to have it separated out, but it's going to be from a section of your guys' music. So first off, I'd like to just have us all feel the quarter. This is in 4/4. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So again, does anyone notice at the very beginning of these rhythms what's different than what we usually do? Sorry.
There's a rest.
Yes, exactly. It's syncopated. So we have to go ahead and figure out how we're going to feel it. So let's go ahead and tap. Let's just have a couple measures of 4. So 1, 2, ready. Perfect. And then, do you want to go ahead and just separate? Make that even smaller and feel 8. So it's ta 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 ta. Perfect. Okay, so when that 8th rest is going to feel like one of those ta 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 ta, but then the quarter note's going to feel like it's a little off place. So let's go ahead and try that. So I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of an entrance. So 1, 2, ready, go.
Ta-ka, 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 ta-ta-ka.
Perfect. That sounded awesome. So let's go ahead and continue down the rest of this page. And I'll go ahead and start you out. And it repeats a lot. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of the page, and if we have any complications, we'll go ahead and start over again. So 1, 2, ready, go.
Ta-ka, 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 ta-ta. Ta-ka, 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 ta-ta-ka. Ka-ta-ka, ta-ka, ta-ka, ta-ta-ka. Ta-ta, ta-ta.
Wow, you guys did a really good job getting that last section from measure 7. That was wonderful. Can we go ahead and take out our music? And can anyone, would someone please look at the music and see if they can see these rhythms in the parts on the first page?
Oh, first.
And second page, together.
They're right at the start.
Yeah. Each of the parts has the same rhythm, right?
Except for
the Cambiato. Thank you, Clara. So we're gonna go ahead and start looking at the Cambiato part that we've got right here. And I was wondering, can you please go ahead and we're gonna start with writing in solfege, but can anyone tell me the key that we're in?
in C.
We're in C, yes, because there is no sharps or flats, right? So the Cambiato part, go ahead and start on a so. So if you guys want to go ahead and write these into your music. When you guys are going, go ahead and just look up and put your pencils down. Is everyone done with that top line?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and move it down a little bit and go ahead and do this bottom line of this page as well. clarify that solfege is underneath the text of the cambiado part, not above the bottom baritone part. Is everyone close to being finished? Alright, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and sing a major scale so to start. So can I please get a C, please? So, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. We start on that lower do. So let's go ahead and go from that do, do, ti, la, sol. And I meant to say so, not do. So, and it's going to be really low for some of us. So, la, ti, do. So let's go ahead and see if we can sing that part, adding in the rhythms that we learned. And this is going to be a little bit different because it's got that 8th note, so it's going to, can we all tap that? So, Alright. So let's go ahead and can I please have the G, please? And girls, you guys go ahead and go so la ti so. Sure. So let's go. So 1, 2, oh goodness gracious, and it starts on the and of 3. So it's gonna be 1, 2, so la ti do, mi, re, sol, so la ti do, re, sol, so la ti do. Perfect. That was really great. I'm sorry, I didn't even really give you directions of where to stop. So that was really great that you guys kept continuing. So, do we notice any? Do we have any complications? Anything that we need to address?
Okay, let's stop right there. Okay, all right, you asked what a spiritual was, but you really kind of let it go.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if you just say it's from the, if she says it's from the African American tradition, does that answer it for all of us in middle school? Probably not. You know, you might even, I mean, you don't have to talk much, but I mean, just talk about, you know, where the tradition comes from, and it came from the slave tradition, and when people were not, you know, I mean, you could teach a lot of stuff about that just in a very short amount of time. But I think just saying it's from the African American tradition isn't probably going to give us, some people, enough context. That makes assumptions that we know a lot, and we don't necessarily. You asked what was different, which was good. You had us identify something specific, which was that rest at the beginning. It was good to start with the rhythms on this. I thought it was hard to read unbarred, and that's not your fault. You took it right out of the score, which is, unbeamed, notice they're all unbeamed in here because of the different syllables. But I thought that's hard to read on rhythms with that. It's hard to group things together when you're just reading rhythms. Did you feel that way, or was it a problem?
For me, it was, I wish that there had been different vowels, because I know you had ta and ka, but they're so similar. I wanted something else to differentiate the syncopation. If it had been, you know, I learned like tas for quarter notes and TTs for eighth notes.
Yeah, just like have maybe have
little
use a system.
What method is taka again? That's like a
taka.
That's like a specific
like
method.
I don't know if
isn't
it might be, but I know instrumentalists
Like
tend to use
Takadini.
it. And I would take, once you did that rhythm, I would then, you said it had him find it in the score, which was good, but maybe have us then read it from the score.
Okay.
So we see how what you did there connects down there. And then since you got the solfege on the dot cam, I would use it there first. I think it would have taken us a long time to write in all that solfege. That was a lot of solfege. Maybe just the first line after, you know, have us do it up on the board, and then maybe if you want us to write it in, so we have it from there. I also don't think I would have used that line, even though I know why you were doing it. Because we were displacing octaves and we were doing fine, but I don't think that would work with your middle school kids. For them to have the girls displace the octave and then drop down halfway through. That's hard for us to do. Yeah, so I would pick if you're gonna have us all read the same line, it would have to be a line that's maybe within a C to C range or so. You know, I don't think you could pick one that had quite as wide an octave range. But good ideas. we're working on, you know, finding ways to read rhythms, finding ways to read notes, and that's what we've got to be doing all the time. Maybe the rhythms would be as far as you could get in one day, right? You know, you can't necessarily do it all. Comments?
When you put the solfege on the doc cam, the first eighth note on the first measure, it was kind of far over, it was kind of hard to read, so maybe you can make that more prominent. It's like,
Okay.
this is where B1 is, and nothing happens.
Yeah, and really point to where that is, as long as you've got that doc cam, make use of it. Anything else?
I think you could have utilized the idea of syncopation a little bit more, because I saw you had the beats written above the line when it was in the doc cam, of where they actually fell, and that was really cool, and I know it would have helped me to know why those beats were there and why they didn't line up with the notes.
Mm-hmm.
When you were trying to get us started with the 3 and, we kept singing when was it your original intention to like just show us where to come in?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's okay to just be like, stop, let's get a better start.
So just more clear stops and starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also giving us like, having us step the beat before we do anything in time. There were, especially when we were like singing the scale, we just sort of,
Yeah, and then I was like, oh crap, so I started.
Especially when it's off the beat like that, you know, to really establish where the beat is so we can sing off of it.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so how'd that feel trying